What if you could make $33,000 plus without using your cash credit? Well, my man Dexter from New Orleans is here to share his story. So you know what you need to do is stand by. Let's get it.
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that bag.
Hello, guys. This is Ty, and today, out of New Orleans, I got my man Dexter, and he's here to tell his story on. You see it on the screen. This bag that he's gotten. Was this your first deal, Dexter?
First deal.
First deal. I love those.
Yeah.
I love those. My first deal was only $2,500. Look what this man did. Right, that's what's up. So yeah, man. So what I like to do is just try to get some backstory on what you were doing leading up to getting into real estate, and then we'll get into this particular deal and how that came about.
Gotcha. I guess the one thing I saw that we had in common off top is kind of like a serial entrepreneur.
All right.
If that makes sense. I owned a restaurant for about 3 years in Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay.
I had a food truck before that, eBay store, Amazon store, sold timeshares, sold Kirby's door to door.
You're a hustler then. Hey, you gator. Where my gator? Yeah, it ain't in here. You're a gator then. If you did that Kirby thing door to door, you straight gator.
I loved it too, man. It was a rush.
Oh yeah, okay, all right. So this was a breeze for you then. So
yeah.
What was the last thing you were doing? Well, I guess you're still maybe doing now. But what interests you in the real estate? That's what I'm trying to get to. What structure?
I got to real estate. My girlfriend and I, we moved to New Orleans about 3 months ago. I previously lived here once before.
Guys, guess what? I had to interrupt you, but it's here. The app, Dare You Later, aka PropStream, is now available for Apple and Android. This is a game changer. You've been asking for it. I've mentioned it a couple of times. The app is here. I know you can't really see anything here with the glare from my lights, but it is available. So if you already got it, all you got to do is just go to whatever device you have, whether it's Android or an Apple phone, iPhone or whatever, and download it from their app stores or Google Play or whatever. But if you did have it and you dropped it, you need to get it back. This is awesome. It is awesome, right? I've been waiting on it. I know you all have been waiting on it, so you gotta get it. So the PropStream app is available. Please go to my site, dareyoulater.com, where you can get the 5-day free trial. Plus, we'll have a training video on this coming soon, probably within the next day or two after this video. It's gonna show you all the great features that it offers. So again, you can get it now, guys. The app is available. Dare You Later, aka PropStream. Back to regular programming. Okay.
I get back here. I get back into the serving industry, serving tables. We were about to have our first kid in February, and I knew I was gonna get back into business. I was just kind of waiting on things to open up. I was gonna I own vending machines as well, so I was waiting on things to open back up. I was gonna bid on some contracts in New Orleans, and I'm like, man, this job stuff is just not cool. So I get to work one day. And the manager tells me something, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this. I'm just gonna do real estate full time. So I ran into a video with what's the guy's name? Tony Robinson.
Okay.
He so happened to be talking about the deal with Jay Morrison and the whole Tulsa real estate. And I remember looking into that years ago because I was thinking about investing with Jay Morrison as far as like getting some knowledge from it. Was something just, I just never did it.
Okay.
And from there, I was like, oh, let me follow this Tony guy. I was like, man, and I didn't know what he did. And he seemed really genuine. And I started with his wholesale group. And to be honest, I quit my job. About 2 weeks, just watching the videos, and I quit my job because now I'm like, let me get some action going. Read the book, watch the videos, and at this point, I hadn't really been exposed to any other YouTubers as far as wholesaling wise. And then I got into other people's pages, and I just head first, 100%. I went from like not knowing what to do to getting the small bandit signs, like the yeah, and I put them like all around the city. I got like 200 of them off I think some website, dirtcheapsigns.com. That's where I got it from.
Okay.
And I started like that, and I put out ads to like get bird dogs, and I put out a couple of ghost ads. I so happened to find a guy that's in the business. That's a mentor of mine. I trust him. It's the first person I've ever went to for. Well, I didn't even actually know I was mending a mentor relationship, but that's what it ended up being.
Okay.
And he lent some very, very, very valuable information. Like, to be honest, he hadn't told me one thing about wholesaling. It's just that's not something he really does. He does like high level investments.
I got you.
So I started there, and it went from bandit signs to I'm like, man, I need some more traction. And I went to the cold calling, and then I found your channel. And I remember you said something. You was like, man, I hate cold calling. I was like, man, I hate cold calling too, but he make money. And I was like, let me follow him, because I hate cold calling. I'm not saying it's not effective and people shouldn't use it. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm not going to implement that in my business. It's just I don't mind getting on the phone, and obviously I love talking to people. That I was willing to knock on their door and sell them a $2,500 vacuum cleaner. So I love talking to people, but just not like that. I didn't mind people hanging up in my face. You know what I didn't like? I just didn't like the amount of numbers that people just didn't answer.
I got you.
I can deal with the no, but the not answering.
Were you using a service, or you were just picking up your phone to dial?
I was using freetruepeoplesearch.com to get the numbers. Then I began to get them off PropStream. And I kind of was like, I looked into what you use, and a couple of more sites. So now I was like, oh man, that's a pretty. It wasn't a sizable investment, but I just didn't plan to put so much into it. And I'm like, and I don't want to call them. So I'm like, I'm gonna pay this much money, and I don't want to call them. I don't think that's a smart investment. Granted, it may work, but I didn't know. I didn't know if I had the discipline to sit there and call 1,000 numbers.
Yeah, that's what's up. You gotta know what your lane is for sure.
Yeah.
You're gonna always do more or make sacrifices, but you still got to be true to yourself and say, hey, if too much of this, some of them probably end up doing something else. You know, it probably would have ran
me away from the business.
Yeah, exactly. I know I would have never done the first deal if I had to start out cold calling. I already know that. I would have never done the first deal if I had to start out cold calling. But I'm smart enough to know now, maybe even back then, I don't know, but that if you're not good at something, and I'm learning this every day, either partner or hire people that's better than you are at doing something, or something you may not be willing to do, but it needs to be done or whatever. So, all right, so let's get into, okay, so you educated yourself. You did take a look, action and so forth, the bandit signs, the cold calling. How did the first deal come about? How did this deal come about?
The first deal actually fell through. It was like a lease option.
Wow, that's my story. Okay. Well, what happened?
Still got that deal. The family's working with me. It's the very first contract I get. My bird dog sends it to me.
Okay.
Love her to death. We're business partners now. The deal was for 90 grand. They had a hard money loan out against it. I didn't know anything about this. Like, I'm like, damn, first loan. And they sent me the payoff. And I'm like, oh, okay. So you owe 90 grand. And that changes. I'm pretty sure that changed. I don't know exactly how hard money loans work, but I know at the beginning of the next fiscal year, that loan, it changes. Interest rate, kick in. And I don't know. I've never did it, right?
Well, yeah, they can be structured all types of ways. Normally, most hard money lenders only like to lend between 6 to 12 months. Now you can have them longer, of course. And a lot of times with the hard money, they're only paying interest on the property. And then they'll just have that large balloon principal payment once it's cashed out. But it could be structured all kinds of ways. So with that particular deal, the numbers just didn't work because of the hard money, or what was the situation?
The numbers worked. The numbers worked. The ARV on it was about 140. Come to find out, it was about 160 when I had you guys run it a couple of weeks ago. I was like, oh, 160, and I reran it. I was like, okay, yeah, it is 160. And I get the buyer, get the seller. Come to find out, the buyer has a relationship with the seller's family. They know him from the area where the home is. His family supposedly ties people up in court, have a reputation for that in that area. They're like, listen, only way we're doing business with him if it's cash.
Yeah.
He was doing 10,000 down. I sold it to him for 95. I had it for 90. He was doing 10 down. 5 was to the sellers. Principal payments for a year, pay it off within a year. I was gonna take 5. They was gonna get 5 down. I was gonna walk away from the deal.
Okay.
When they found out who he was, they was like, "Nope, we can't do that."
Oh wow. Okay.
So I'm still marketing. So I reach out to somebody else. Reach out to me from one of my ghost ads. She turns me on to Zillow. So then I start calling real estate agents on Zillow, and I start reaching out to for sale by owners on Zillow. And I run into a guy, and it's a lot, and the numbers don't work for us. And I say, "Hey, do you have any more properties?" And he tells me about 304 Colby Court. It's in Slidell. It's like 45 minutes away. My car got stolen like 2 months ago. I don't have a ride to get there. I've been riding a road bike around New Orleans, doing my bandit signs every Friday night. I'm like, I can't ride a road bike 45 miles to Slidell.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But I thought about it. I'm like, well, virtual wholesale, there's no problem. I get somebody on Craigslist to take pictures if need be. But the story comes with dealing with real estate agents. Now, granted, this deal was off market.
Okay.
However, it was a real estate agent. He previously owned the home. The guy that had the house had one too many projects going, so he was just selling some.
Okay.
I tell him, I say, okay, put an offer in for 130. He comes back at 150. I say like 140. He says 145. I say meet me in the middle. We settle at 142.
Okay.
Now the agent shoots me all these contracts over. I'm like, wait, what? I'm reading through, and I'm like, oh my god, like wait, I got to do what? And I was like, it was $2,500 earnest money. It was a whole lot of more just legalities with it. I really didn't understand. So I said, hey, let me go on YouTube University and figure out some addendums to add to this contract just to protect myself. And I did that, and he added a 15-day inspection clause. So my hard money, my $2,500. Actually, I negotiated that down to $1,000, and that didn't go hard until 15 days. So I could have pulled out.
All right, so you did have to actually put it up, or you didn't put it up until after 15 days?
And this is how good of a deal it was. So I structured this on a Thursday. I get the paperwork and I sign it all. I'm like, Friday we talk about it. I said, hell, wasn't able to get to my attorney's office, which I wasn't. I'm gonna go put the earnest money down Monday. Well, I've been marketing the property. I market properties like soon as normally before I got the contract, I probably already got an ad done. If I feel like I'm gonna get it, I got an ad done to market it.
Yeah.
Because I like working my deals semi-backwards, to be honest.
Okay.
So anyway, that Friday we lock it up. Monday comes around, I got a buyer. I got 2 buyers.
All right. So we just to because so you never did even see the property?
No. I went to see the property that Friday.
Okay, so you did. So
I did. I went to see the property, and
you didn't ride the bike over there, did you?
No. This is how I got my partner Jen. She may be watching, man.
Okay.
Jim was like, "Look, I'll take you out there. It's a nice, that's a nice deal. Let's go see it. It sits on an acre. I ran it across you a couple of weeks ago.
Okay. What was the ARV on it?
430.
Okay. All
430.
right. All right. Okay, and so you all went out to look at it. So who met you over there? The owner, the realtor,
owner and the real estate agent met me over.
Okay. All right.
So keep in mind, the real estate agent previously owned this home, so he had a lot of knowledge about it.
Okay.
He also had a relationship with the guy Peter already, so that's why it was easier to get the offering and all that good stuff.
Okay.
So I get there. Jen takes about 20-25 pictures. I take a long 10-minute video, and I'm like, you know what? Let me edit this video. And what I do is I upload them to my YouTube page.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get it to my buyers, I tell them, hey, just subscribe to my YouTube page. You'll get my deals as soon as I get them.
Yeah.
And I started doing that, and I love it. Because to be honest, I want to make it easy as possible for my buyers. Like, before you even get out your bed to come look at the property, you can just look at this video walkthrough to see if it's even worth their time.
Okay. So now, you got the property, you uploaded the video. So how many people reached out to you about it? Oh, wait a minute, let me back up. So you got under contract for 142. What were you marketing your deal at? What price?
185.
Okay. All right.
So the new guy jitters get to me, and I come down. I'm like, let me just do 180, because when you search the records, it previously sold for 175 with fire damage.
Okay. All right.
At this point, he had fixed the fire damage, but he had also gutted the rest of the house out.
Okay.
So the rest of the house didn't need gutting. The fire damage just need fixing, and you could have did some updates. And now we're talking about the totally different renovation costs.
I got you.
So I tell the agent, it's the tricky part about it. I tell the agent, like, I really don't have to earn this money. I was like, man, I don't know where I'm gonna get it from. And he was like, listen, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if there's something fishy. I was like, listen, man, I'm straight up and down with you. I'm an investor, but I do, on the level of business we was doing business, I felt it was right to tell him I'm wholesaling. Like, I feel like everybody needs to be in the loop.
Yeah. So
long story short, I put it out there for 180. I get bites on it immediately. Boom. I get one person that's like, okay, the lady, she goes to see it and she's like, it's not big enough for me. Next guy come, he's like, I'll do $2,500 down, 160. Then somebody else offered me like 150. And then the last couple of offers was like full price. So I was like, you know what, this how I'm gonna do this. $5,000 down, 180. First one with the EMD, non-refundable. That's who get the deal.
Okay.
Bam, a buyer comes through, he does that. Then, well, he doesn't do it, he schedules to go do it. But in between that, I have somebody reach out to me, like 2 people, and like, hey, we'll do 200. Like, one guy was like, we'll do 225. They were like, with the $5,000 down. I didn't feel right being that me and him had already had a conversation about it, a verbal conversation. And I told him, hey, if you do this, we're good. So I was like, man, I'm gonna give him like 2 days.
Right.
And he came through in the 2 days.
Yeah, that's happened to me similarly. One of the bigger deals I've done over the years. A guy, basically, I could have made $20,000 more. I made I made 40 on it, but a guy offered, me like a day later. He said, "If your account," I said, "No, I don't do business like that, man," or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I've committed to this dude. I'm gonna give him an opportunity to close on it or whatever. So, but yeah, so you give him the 2 days. So how long did it take him to get back to you?
Oh, he dropped the EMD money off that Monday, that following Monday. So this is a Friday. Well, this was actually probably a Saturday. He went to see the property. Also what I did was I posted it on Zillow in the for sale by owner section.
Okay.
And that created a whole different level of traction that's a pipeline to other future deals, hopefully.
Correct.
But,
Gotcha. All right. So you and that buyer goes under contract at 180, and he drops off the $5,000 earnest money deposit. What was how long did it take him to close it after that?
We closed about a week.
Okay, so as soon as the title came back, it was ready to go. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So
only reason we didn't actually we would have closed in about 3 days. Actually, we would have closed that following Wednesday, but we got hit with a hurricane.
Okay. All right. That is when it hit. Okay. So that slowed things up.
Yep.
All right. So you're scheduled to close on the property. I guess you let the selling agent know. So how did the closing go down? Did everyone meet, or was it?
So it was.
Oh, and how did you? Well, before we get there, you used his title company or closing attorney, or how was that done?
This is why I would say, I would say be really meticulous about it. But if you're serious about this business, find a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Like one thing about it, mentors have mentors.
Yeah.
So that tells me right there, I should find a mentor as a newbie. My mentor gave me the contact with his lawyer. His lawyer's dad had a say in writing the real estate laws in the state of Louisiana.
Okay.
So this is a great guy. This is a great resource. So everybody I've had contact with that I've thrown my lawyer's name out, they've been like, "Oh yeah, we're good. We love him. We definitely want to use him."
I got you.
So I went with him. Now when I got to closing, I tell you the tricky part about it was the seller thought I was the cameraman. The buyer thought I was somebody's help. And they were both shocked that I walked out of there with a check, that big. Like the seller was like, "So you gonna give me $10,000 of that?" I was like, "Nah, but I tell you what, I hear you have more property, and maybe we could work it out on the next deal."
That's funny. So you wholesaled it. What was the difference on the what is that? You had it for 142, so the number was 148. What was the difference in it not being just a straight? What would that been? 38,000. What was the difference?
So I had to my agent made about 10 grand on it. The agent I paid him 3%. Okay. And then the seller paid him 4%.
Okay.
4%.
Okay, so your money got chopped up because you had to pay the agent some money, basically.
Right. I had to pay the agent some money.
Okay, I got you. Okay, cool. So how did that go down as far as the day leading up to closing? Sound like you've made some money in your life doing different things or whatever, but just knowing, I'm not going to say how easy this was, but how fast it happened and what you had to do to get it. How was that as far as the closing day? And how did they? Well, they sent you a check, or you sent me a picture of it, the check. So how was that leading up to the closing day? The day of closing. The day of closing.
The day of closing. So the day of closing, like I said, it was the seller the seller that previously saw me at the property with my partner Jen. He thought I was a cameraman.
Okay.
And I guess because I didn't talk a whole lot to him when I was there because the price had already been negotiated. And he's a businessman, so I mean, this wasn't one of those classic, sellers. This is a business. The conversation is different. He understands this is a business.
Yeah, I got you.
So I didn't talk much to him. I just took a really thorough video, and closing the buyer. The agent sent me an addendum saying we needed a week to get the stuff out of there upon closing. Mm-hmm. I verbally spoke with my buyer about this. Well, my buyer doesn't come to closing; his partner comes to closing.
Okay.
His partner and I have never spoken. He has you can feel the tension in the air when he really sees the numbers and he sees how the money's like fluctuating. And I had my mentor there as well, just in case, anything weird came about. So it was some tension, but the contracts were ironclad. I mean, you walk away, you lose your $5,000. It was a little tension. I think he was like, man, like, damn, I had $40,000 spread. I don't think he was expecting that. And I think that was his first time seeing the numbers on it. But the numbers, and still they work for you.
Yeah, the numbers work for you. Yeah, he wasn't going to lead a deal because he knew you had other people that would have wanted it.
Yeah.
Like so, can't cry about how much money you're making. As long as he's going to make the money he thought he was going to make. Whether you had it under contract for $1 and was going to make $142,000. You know what I'm saying? So, so boom, man. So pick up that check. Was it yesterday or a couple days ago?
Yesterday, I picked it up.
Okay, yeah, you sent it to me. Okay, yeah. So, since you've done to close the deal, 33 victims and some change. How does it feel, man? That first deal.
To be honest, I'm not as excited. Like I said, I'm about to have my son in February. So the money don't necessarily excite me as much as the process did. Kind of like when they was selling the vacuum cleaners, except the vacuum cleaners was really hard to scale.
Yeah.
Like in this business, I'll tell you that I think the best thing I did, I was open to all ideas. I didn't care if it was on market, off market. The goal was to get it at a certain price that works for my end buyer. And I tried to keep it that basic. So I built relationships with bird dogs. She was awesome. This is a lady that rents rooms out. She bird dogs. Now we're working on another contract together. My partner that brought me out there to the property, Jen, we built a relationship, I think, over a ghost. We built a relationship over a property that I got under contract, and I got it under contract too high, just like 3 other people around did. And her and I was just discussing it, and we ended up being partners. We just took to each other, and kind of like accountability partners. And another girl comes along. So now we meet once a week, and it's like an accountability group, and we bounce ideas off each other. And actually, we're discussing the ideas of splitting costs to do marketing, text blasting, and all that good stuff. Because I think about what you say all the time. Half a zero and pigs get slaughtered. I mean, pigs get fed and hoes get slaughtered.
Hoes get slaughtered. Oh yeah, you've been watching. All right, Dex, man. Wow, hey, you got it done, man. You're a hustler, though. This was nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? It's just right in, man. So what's next, my man?
Text. So I want to get into text blasting, but to be honest, I feel like we have a really thorough way of the way we go about getting leads, or the way I go about getting leads. It's to the point now. After I've closed this deal, I was already talking to a lot of people around, but a lot of people have shot me their deals, and I'm wondering, like, is that normal in the business? I was wondering because I hadn't heard people really speak on it. So I've had
other people sending you deals.
Yeah.
Yeah, the largest wholesaler in the country, my man Jamil over at Keegley. That's the majority of their business. They did over 1,000 deals last year, right? And that's because they wholesale other wholesalers' property. They find cash buyers for them. So that's the only way you can really, I ain't gonna say it's the only way. It's probably the quickest way you can really scale quickly is just networking with a lot of wholesalers. If you can liquidate properties fast, the sky's the limit. Obviously it starts with them sending you great deals, but if you can liquidate properties fast, other wholesalers is the number one least expensive way of actually generating, a lot of deals in a very short time frame, and you're just not limited to your market on top of that. So, which I'm attempting to do that through digulator.com or whatever. We'll get there, but that's to answer your question. Most definitely, if people are sending you deals, then yeah, you definitely want to take advantage of that. And if you can definitely match a buyer with them, so you split them 50-50 or whatever you all agree upon.
Okay, that's what I've been thinking. I just didn't know. I've been debating on what portion. Like, I know how much money I am going to put into marketing, and like I said, my car did get stolen a couple of months ago. Like right after I put $2,000 in it to get it fixed. I literally didn't get a chance to put insurance on it. So I have to buy a car. But I do have a hefty portion I'm gonna put back into marketing and put up, obviously. And I've been debating if do I want to invest in text blasting? I'm definitely gonna get banned.
Well, there are a lot of ways to go about the texting. I don't know if you've seen my video on the text to flip or whatever. If you're trying to stay FCC compliant, basically within the law.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to watch that video.
Click per click.
Yeah.
Click per message. Right.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it's very effective, man. You know, it's going to outperform pretty much anything you do because of the number of people you can reach for the small amount of money that it takes to do it or whatever. So, but man, I'm glad you reached out to me, man, and shared your experience with this. And, you know, if anything you want to add before we get out of here.
I would tell people, if you're gonna do this, be open to all ideas and trust me. I think building a team and being open to all ideas, like I related to you, number one, because I'm from the South, and I got that you were from the South. I didn't know you were born in my home state, but I guess that even says more about it. So when I found you, I was like, oh, I can. Not that I couldn't relate to the other guys. Max Maxwell, great. Jared Norton, great. Brent Daniels, great. I related to a lot of their messages, and I watched a lot of their videos. But it was different when I found somebody that I had the tone, the language, the way you approached it, just sat with me. So I tell people, like, man, go to YouTube and find somebody that you really can key into, because most people put out a lot of knowledge, a lot of free game. I did not know this much free game on the internet.
Oh my God! Oh, it's the greatest equalizer ever. Beyond real estate. Hey man, that's why it's so hard for me when people start complaining about it. People know me; they say I never complain. It's not I don't complain because I don't have problems. Is that and normally they're talking about financial stuff. Right. You know, it's because if it's something happening financially with me, normally it's my fault. You know what I'm saying? Or something I didn't do to change my situation or whatever. So because it's just so much free knowledge out here, pretty much on anything you want to do outside of probably being an attorney or a doctor somewhere you need licenses or whatever. Anything else is free game without ever going to college or any of that stuff. Not to discourage that, but I'm just keeping it real. It's really only for the engineers, the doctors, the lawyers, I guess nurses, maybe accountants. After that, it's a crapshoot or whatever. Because even once you get into technology, it's tons of stuff out here going to teach it, especially internet, because it is technology. It is technology. Anything you want to know, man. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on college. And I went to college and graduated, but it is what it is.
Oh, I didn't. I went.
It hadn't made me a dime, whatever. So, but anyway, yeah, man, I really, really appreciate it, man. I guess, you know, hey, you know, you're in, you know, anything you need to know from me, you can always hit me up, man. I'm sure we'll be chatting. Maybe we can do some deals for sure. My first interview from the NO, man. So, hey, they kill it down there. Obviously, it's going down in Louisiana.
Yes, sir, it is.
All right, guys, as I always like to say, I appreciate everyone watching this. Definitely appreciate Dexter sharing his story and his time. Thanks, and we will see you guys on the flip side.
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that bag.